If we could go back to Minnesota for a moment, one of the things, at that time, of course, it was possible to read quite widely in a way that you can't now with so much, when there's so much available. But we were encouraged to read in sociology, especially in what was then a very active field of rural sociology, which in many ways was doing some of the things that later on became part of anthropology in its study of small rural communities in the United States. I suppose this had been spurred on by the Depression and all that was happening then. And so I did get not only some training in anthropology at Minnesota, but was encouraged to have more interests than just anthropology. Again, after I finished my Macaw fieldwork, I didn't go back to Radcliffe immediately and start writing the dissertation. Clacone got me a job under Alex Layton with the War Relocation Authority. That was the organization that was in charge of the Japanese who were moved away from the West Coast in the United States. And we were in a camp in Arizona. It was called Poston. Layton was head of what was called the Bureau for Sociological Research. He was a psychiatrist who had trained under Adolf Meyer at Hopkins, but had sat in on the famous Gardner-Linton seminar at Columbia, which is where he met Clacone. And then Layton had gone and worked among the Navajo and also among the Aleut. The other person under him was Edward Spicer. And Spicer had been a student of Radcliffe Brown's at Chicago. Spicer encouraged me to read a lot of things that linked up to the Radcliffe Brown School, including the Newburyport studies by William Floyd Warner, which were just coming out. And also at that time, Hortense Powdermaker had just written for Deep South. And there were other studies of contemporary American communities. But so I got a dose of social anthropology before I hit Britain. And with the way Spicer presented things, it seemed to me to give a much better framework for moving in, doing field work and starting to understand what was going on around you than I'd had and from people who had been trying to push starting from the idea of culture or culture and personality. So when I came to Northern Rhodesia, I already had some familiarity, and that's why Max and I got along so well.